guys, I know the lockdown's got a lot of people stir crazy, and I think a lot of you guys, like me, have been watching more YouTube than usual. I think it's perfectly normal in this situation. And there's something on YouTube that's been bothering me just a huge amount. It bothers me a huge amount. And I recently watched a video where one of my favorite groups of content creators went and did exactly this thing. They did this awful, terrible, just, it bugs the absolute crap out of me. And they're not perfect. They're amazing content creators. I really enjoy their content. I think that they're fantastic. I think they do a lot of work and they have fantastic editors and they really do produce excellent content. And they've made some mistakes in the past, just little boo-boos, like things that aren't as bad as this one. The group of content creators I'm talking about are the Try Guys. And again, I really respect them. I think they're fantastic content creators. I don't think any of this reflects that poorly on them. I think it just shows that they didn't think things through entirely. But I do want to talk about the thing that really bothers me on YouTube, and that is false medical information. Stuff which is touted as medicine or treatments for things that is absolutely incorrect, that there is no scientific evidence for, and that is the pit that the Try Guys unfortunately fell into with their video, The Try Guys Try Fire Cupping. About a minute in, we get to meet the heroine of the story, Hannah Dostar. Now, Hannah Dostar is wearing a lab coat, and therefore she must be a medical professional, especially since she is the proprietor and owner of the clinic for pain and anxiety. Pain and anxiety, very serious things, both of them. So she must know what she's doing. She must be highly qualified in order to treat these two incredibly difficult to treat things. Unknown pain and anxiety, two incredibly difficult things to treat. And we know that we can trust her because she's wearing a lab coat. And at this point, I have nothing more I could do in this video because the lab coat is all powerful. And you aren't going to trust me over somebody in a lab coat because, as we all know, if you're wearing a lab coat, you know science. However, I will fight fire with fire because I have my spiffy lab coat from my time at university studying genetics. So we've got my spiffy lab coat here. It does make me look a bit more like a serial killer than her $15 lab coat off of Amazon because mine has the closed collar that stops anything getting under it and the elastic wrists. Because we need to talk about Hannah Dostar, and without the power of a lab coat to fight her lab coat, you know, they cancel each other out and now we can talk on equal footing. Let's talk about the fact that Hannah Dostar has absolutely no medical qualifications whatsoever. We've gone to her LinkedIn, which is public. Again, she has no qualifications listed. She doesn't even have any prior experience listed before this. She created herself an account on RateMyMD or RateMDs.com, and this is for rating medical doctors, where she has listed 0 qualifications, but has created herself an account under the doctors category, which I think is fraudulent in my opinion, but you know, moving swiftly onwards. A Google search shows that she has some acupuncturist qualification of some sort, or she's described herself as an acupuncturist at some point, but absolutely no medical qualifications there. It looks like she is completely unqualified in every sense of the word, and that makes a lot of sense when you start watching the video and seeing the things that she's saying.
There is stagnant cupping. So for somebody that's kind of weak in the area, their muscle is weak, needs a lot of blood flow, we have stagnant cupping.
Nope! Stagnant cupping does not increase blood flow to the body at all. In fact, stagnant cupping, the reason it goes red is because it's breaking capillaries, which are microscopic blood vessels in your body that are designed to improve blood flow to the tissue and increase surface area to improve the transmission of oxygen from your blood cells to the tissues in order to allow your body to operate. So absolutely not! Stagnant cupping does not improve blood flow in any way, shape, or form. Moving on!
And then there's movement cupping for somebody that has really bad circulation, that has pain and needs to get those knots, those adhesions out of their body. We'll do movement cupping.
So movement cupping, heat it up with the marshmallow of pain, put it on, whoop, whoop, slip it up and down their back. This one might actually have some beneficial effect because it's mimicking a massage. But you know what has a more beneficial effect? A massage. Why would you damage your capillaries while getting a massage instead of just going to a massage therapist for probably 1/10 of the cost that this woman is charging in LA and getting a really, really good massage, which will relax your muscles, which will work out some of those knots and will not damage your skin in any way? I think my preference would be the massage. What about you guys? I don't know. Maybe you want Hannah to put her cups on your back and slide them up and down, you know? Highly trained medical professional that she is.
And there's also flash cupping. It kind of just feels nice. You put it on the body, release it quickly, and I like to use that a lot for psycho-emotional issues.
I really wanted to keep this video light and try and crack jokes and, you know, not get angry and ranty and all of that. But did she just say that flash cupping was good for psycho-emotional issues? We're gonna take a quick break from the memes and the jokes and the, you know, lab coatiness and all of that. And we're gonna talk about the fact that mental health is a really serious thing. And the stigma around mental health means that a lot of people don't seek treatment from traditional sources like therapists or psychologists or psychiatrists, and how offering a quick fix like this is disingenuous and could be damaging to people. Flash cupping isn't going to help you with trauma if you've got childhood trauma or even later in your life trauma. It's not going to help you with depression, anxiety. It's not going to help you with anything. If you need help, get help from a medical professional. Don't get help by going to a nut job with a glass pot and a marshmallow on a stick. It is not going to work. I don't really want to stay on this one for very long because it's actually just really upsetting. This one just upset me. Are you kidding me, Hannah? What? Anyway, with that said, we are going to go through a quick montage of what each Try Guy is getting treated for.
I have a lot of mental stress.
Sure. So the flash cupping's coming in. It's just upsetting at this point. It just keeps coming back to it's just uncomfortable. The idea that flash cupping fixes anxiety is uncomfortable. But, you know, what do you expect from a clinic with a owner and proprietor who has no medical background whatsoever?
I do a series where I eat everything off of fast food menus in one sitting. So sometimes I have digestive issues.
Oh God, please don't suction his stomach. Please don't do that. Don't put large amounts of vacuum suction on the abdominal wall. There's all kinds of stuff that could go wrong. Ooh.
I recently f***ed up my shoulder.
Shoulder injury. This one hits close to home. I've had a couple of surgeries on my shoulder myself. Shoulder injuries are very unpleasant. They're very difficult to treat. And she's going to do it with hot cups, isn't she? This will not work. That's all I have to say. It will not help.
I've had 4 surgeries in this knee after like a sports accident.
No. Why? Don't do it. Don't do it. You've had 4 surgeries on your knee. Don't do it. Don't do cupping. You know what you should do? Talk to your surgeon. You know what you shouldn't do? Have a lady put a cup on your knee. What if you've got bad scar tissue? What if you've got a weak tendon? What if some of this suction somehow damages the tendons in your knee? It's just not a good plan. Don't do it. Don't run, Ned. Run on your bad knee. Run away as fast as you can. What is happening? Later on in the video, a pertinent question is asked of our friend Hannah.
Does it burn?
Nope, does not burn.
Not even a little bit?
Nope.
Does not burn. This is true. It doesn't burn. The cups don't get hot enough to burn you. But what it can do is cause skin damage incredibly similar to full thickness 3rd degree burns. Don't believe me? Check out the link down below where a doctor did a blog about fire cupping and about how there was a patient who came in with necrosis. And the only reason I'm not showing you this on screen is because it's so gross, it might upset some people. But necrosis of the 6 spots that got fire cupped for 10 days in a row because it damaged those capillaries over and over and over again. The skin couldn't get enough oxygen and it died. And there's just these holes in the guy's back. It is brutal. So, no, it doesn't burn. But yes, it does actually cause all the bad shit that burns cause in exactly the same way the burns do by killing the skin. It's a really bad time. Even the NCCIH, which is a group dedicated to studying the purported benefits of alternative therapies like cupping, state there have been no high-quality research showing a single benefit of cupping and a lot of bad studies that show benefits but actually can be disproved entirely. In addition, this group that normally is purporting the benefits of these kind of treatments actually warns that cupping can cause side effects such as persistent skin discoloration, scars, burns, infections, and worsen eczema or psoriasis. Rare cases of severe side effects have been reported, such as bleeding inside the skull after cupping of the scalp, and anemia from blood loss due to wet cupping, which is where you cup and you cut and suck the blood out entirely. It's literally bloodletting. It's like me opening a clinic to treat your pain and anxiety by studying the 4 humors of ancient Western medicine. It is absolute freaking Nonsense. Anyways, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's move on. Let's take a look at her wonderful treatments that are going to cure the Try Guys of their various ailments.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to bring as much blood flow as possible to the scar.
Oh, good. She's going to cup his scar. She's talking about when you have an injury and there's surgery and there's scar tissue which can reduce blood flow. All very true. You know what's not a good idea if you've got a scar reducing blood flow? Cupping and suctioning on that scar. Why are you letting her do this? Do you want to have a 5th surgery? Are you going for number 5 here, Ned? It's not a good plan. Again, roll away. I know you're naked under that towel, but roll and run. Run as fast as you can. Ned, please, don't let her do this. Don't let her do it, bro.
And I also, for anxiety cupping, I like to put a couple of tinctures of CBD under your tongue. Do you want that?
Oh, for anxiety cupping, she likes to put a couple of drops of a tincture of CBD under the tongue. You know what has had well-documented and positive effects on anxiety? CBD. Oh, we're going to give you some CBD. Light meditation and CBD. That'll fix your anxiety. Absolutely it will. It can help a lot. It won't fix it, but it will help. Also see a therapist. But the cupping has nothing to do with it. She's just giving them CBD at an incredibly ramped up price to treat their anxiety. It's a scam. It's got to be a scam. She's got to know that this is all nonsense. Right?
Pretty much how fire cupping works is that it brings oxygen to the red blood cells.
What? What did she just say? Did she just say that fire cupping helps get oxygen to your red blood cells?
It brings oxygen to the red blood cells.
How? How, lady? How does it get oxygen to your red blood cells? Do you want to know what oxygenates your red blood cells? Your lungs. That's the job of, you have an entire organ dedicated to oxygenating your red blood cells. Do you know what doesn't oxygenate your red blood cells? Bursting capillaries in your skin and sucking stuff up into a cup that has had the oxygen burned away, because that's how they create the vacuum. Oh my, it's colossally stupid. It is unimaginably stupid. She is running for the Olympic gold medal in dumbfuck pseudoscience. I swear, I do not understand how anybody could take this seriously. Moving on.
Would any of us be able to play with Ned's bulb?
Can we?
Wiggle it.
Oh, good.
Do you give me permission to touch your bulb?
Yeah, you can definitely even go like this, kind of just like break it around, move it around.
What I expect.
Oh, good. She's letting 3 other completely untrained non-medical professionals play with the bulb on Ned's knee that has had 4 surgeries. That sounds like a great idea. While we're at it, why don't we all just take a swing at it with a hammer? She even goes like, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Look at this. Look at this jiggle. What is she doing? How does that help? That's just distending the skin. It's moving it around. It could cause damage. Why is she doing this? What is the purpose? Why would you if it's a medical procedure, why would you let his friends play with it? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Let's be nice and gentle with him because we're doing an anxiety treatment. So let's all take a breath. All right. Nice and calm.
Oh, we're going to take a deep breath after the CBD. And out. Ooh, nice and calm. Do you feel your anxiety drifting away as I talk to you in a soothing, calm voice as I'm about to cup you? See how the CBD and the calming, meditative talk and breathing is helping with your anxiety? Yeah, the real cure is the cupping. It's not this process of giving you CBD and calming talk and taking deep breaths, which have all been known to help work with anxiety. No, it's going to be the cups.
So for anxiety, it helps to release toxins. A lot of the time when someone's overly anxious, depressed, or stressed, there's a release of cortisol in the blood system.
Oh, she talked about the stress hormone cortisol. Excellent. Yes, cupping has no effect on cortisol. How would it? Cortisol is released and is released into your bloodstream by glands in your body and is completely through your bloodstream, and it causes an increase in heart rate, among other things. You know, it makes you breathe faster. It's responsible for the fight or flight response. You ever feel that in your body, that rush, that adrenaline rush, and that fight or flight? Blood either rushes to your legs or you're ready to fight. You have no effect on cortisol by popping cups on and on. You couldn't. There's no mechanism where that could affect the cortisol levels in your blood. But I'll tell you what, prove me wrong. If you can show me a study which measures cortisol before and after cupping and shows a decrease in cortisol due to the cupping, I will give anybody who does that $10,000. There's my open challenge. Find me a study that has been peer-reviewed, $10,000. First person to do it. Go on. Go!
People from the eastern side of the world use this a lot, and they have really nice skin. They barely have wrinkles.
Ah, so fire cupping is the secret. It's the reason why people in Asia and the East have better skin. Despite the fact that very few people, like not even close to a majority of that population, fire cups is actually still a dying thing over in the East as well, despite the fact that there are well-documented studies showing that it's actually due to the amount of melanin in the skin. Because their skin is darker, it has less sun damage. Sun damage is the number one cause of wrinkles and creases and the aging process. It's why African Americans or black people in other countries also see less aging, and the whole saying black don't crack comes from that. It's all about the melanin in the skin. It's nothing to do with fire cupping. This is just a flat out lie, absolutely disprovable and laughable. Another factor in the East to people having nicer skin is because in the East, actually skincare is taken a lot more seriously than it is over here. It's very normal for young men and women to treat their skin with skincare products, and it's just a lot more widespread over there. Skincare is important, and they take it very, very seriously in the East, and that's why they generally have nicer skin than us Caucasian folk who sit out in the sun.
Well, it's interesting because I have patients that come in.
Nope. You don't have patients who come in. You don't have patients. You are not a medical professional. You are not a clinician. Nobody is a patient of yours. You do not get access to their medical history. You do not add anything to their medical history. You are not a clinic. You are a whack job with some glass pots, and they are clients, not patients. In fact, they are victims of your scam. They are not patients.
And once they do the treatment, it just completely makes sense to them. Because you could feel it. You could feel that it works. And people walk away feeling detoxed and nice and healthy.
The placebo effect exists. That's all I have to say. People walk away feeling detoxed? Great. The placebo effect exists and is, in fact, well studied and well documented. But you could give them a sugar pill and say, this makes you feel better, and they would have the exact same effect.
Big breath in, loudly. Big breath in and out.
Those red spots on his skin do not look how could anybody think that looks healthy? Good Lord.
We're gonna really move around your intestines, large intestine, small intestine, and I get it to mimic peristalsis, which is what your stomach does when it's trying to get poop out and digest.
Oh no, she's gonna cup his stomach. Now, one thing, she says move around your intestines and mimic peristalsis. Peristalsis is a squeezing of your gut. So if this is your gut, it squeezes the matter to the next area of your gut, and then the next area of your gut squeezes it to the next area, and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze in a sort of ripple effect. Suctioning on one side of the gut is not going to help peristalsis. If it would do anything to peristalsis, which I very much doubt, it would inhibit peristalsis. You're also risking all kinds of things by putting large amounts of suction on the abdominal wall, like a hernia. You could pull a hernia through any gap in the abdominal wall. If you're prone to hernias, or you have a hernia that's forming, or even have a hernia that already exists, you could make it much worse. It's just incredibly dangerous. Do not suction the stomach area ever for any. No, it's really, don't do that. Don't do it. After this, we're just looking at results, and anybody who thinks these results are good for the skin is delusional. I think anybody who looks at this and thinks this is good for the skin, you're lying to yourself. It's a delusion. I wanted this video to be a little bit more comedic than it's turned out. I wanted to be a bit more lighthearted about it, but this is a serious issue. Medical misinformation on YouTube is absolutely rampant, and I think it's a big, big problem, and I think that this video is the perfect example of how big creators who are very entertaining and very good creators can fall into that trap. I hope you guys took away from this video the fact that none of this is accurate, none of this is true, and that you should not trust fire cupping. I hope you guys enjoyed this format of content, which is very new to me, and I promise I will try and make the next one a little bit more lighthearted. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.